Greetings. Welcome back. This time with some caffeine. Yeah, I gotta learn to not record things when I've been up longer than I should be. One day I'll learn, I'm sure. But yeah, so DRS10. I did it again, this time with a bit more fluidity, if that's a word. Could be. I don't know. But yeah, still, like before, not really much of a solid plan or foundation for a plan. Just sort of a guideline, as it were. So for starters, of course, got my ships here. Once again, I've got Solitude 13. I wanted to do this before I got Solitude 13, but it just happened to upgrade, and like before I had a chance to test it. So results may be a bit skewed, but there is some leeway for a margin of error, I guess you could say. Mostly because I'm using leap instead of suspend and all that. But yeah, I got two brawlers, two leap brawlers, and a vengeance ship. A lot of explosions between the three. And the map here, honestly, is a little bit easier than most maps because, excuse me, there's only really two sectors that have bombers that are adjacent, right? You got this one over here, which is kind of, it's alright. And then you got the double bomber up here, which is not that bad because of the asteroids that they're the asteroids in the sector. I can just kind of oh god, excuse me. I can sit on the on this asteroid and I can hit the bombers wherever they are, so not that big of a deal. But yeah, the usual strategy, the usual plan, I guess you could say, is just to knock out the bombers. Let the planets fully spawn, kind of like how people do in DRS11, and then deal with those planets after they spawn, because once the bombers are out of the way, there's not really much in terms of danger or difficulty. I guess there's the destroyers as well, but they aren't really, or I'll deal with them in due time. So jump on the bomber here, let the vengeance ship take out any safe to sit in sectors with a storm. Again, normally these two planets can be level 9, which means they can have storms, so I would usually have my vengeance ship just sitting on there, waiting for it to be used, but not this time. Had to jump over here, wanted to leap onto these two bombers immediately. I was going to EMP them, but I want to save my EMP for the destroyers if I can intercept their approach. Got a really lucky shot off with the rocket drone, because the rocket drone hits for 8,000 damage, so really good damage there on that. Moved in panic there. So that's all the bombers taken care of. I just gotta take out the ones that spawn with the planet level 8 sectors, but they always spawn. I mean, they always spawn if it's a planet level 8 sector. So destroyers are in. I did think about using my vengeance ship to kill them, but I decided against it. So this is good practice here. Luckily, there's only one planet adjacent to the star, so I could save that for vengeance. If there were two planets adjacent to the star, it's kind of risky trying to EMP a destroyer from within the sector because of the Phoenix shield. It's a little bit bigger than your EMP range, so it's a bit, tricky there. But luckily, you're just one planet there. Of course, if a destroyer reaches the planet, I can easily just leap onto it and EMP it that way and kill it. But this is easier. So I let the destroyers approach. I could have jumped the civilian ships in at this time and started getting the hydrogen in, but oh well. Intercept that one, intercept this one, and that's the destroyer taken care of. And this last destroyer can be dealt with vengeance. So yeah. Also, I am getting a little bit better about keeping up with these storms and or not the storms, the interceptors and the ghosts. But yeah, them spawning anywhere means that I can't just look at certain spots anymore. Like, an interceptor could spawn over here, and I'm looking over here where all of my civilian ships are, and then it could start a path to a level 10 planet, which is what they usually go for. The highest level planet available available in the star. Excuse me. And I might not have EMP to stop them, and the civilian ships might not have stealth up. So yeah. Anyway, uh, jumped onto here, knock out the sector and the destroyer as well. Because my alpha shield lasts for so long, I can just sit here and take out these signals. One thing you will notice, I kind of took this very slowly. Like, I could have done more things more often, but I wanted to see. Well, I guess I didn't really need to. Like, it wasn't my intention to see how well I could just relax in DRS10. It just sort of happened that way. Really, I was just planning things out. Lured the Phoenix away from the Cerberus, the interceptors and guardians on this side. You see, notice they're outside of the range of the shields. So when I leap onto here, and leap has a 200 range, I can kill them all, only leaving the Colossus and the Storms. Now, for some reason, that leap didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. You know, like, usually when that happens, it's like if it targets a ghost. Maybe it targeted a ghost, I don't know. Wasn't looking, but yeah, leap onto here, knock out everything here. So it's just these capital ships. I was going to EMP, but I didn't see EMP was on cooldown, so I had to skedaddle, get out of there before those storm darts hit me. And yeah, I just now realized these ghosts down here. Yeah, still not used to ghosts, or just, I guess, something else that can spawn in DRS10. So I teleported the vengeance ship back down here. The vengeance ship is what protects the civilians usually. Although in this run I kind of had the brawlers doing that with EMP because the vengeance ship doesn't have EMP. It you know, so if an interceptor is coming and these stealth is on cooldown, I kind of have to move out of the way, and that can be a little difficult on mobile to move quickly. Kind of glossed over this, but yeah, I just jumped on here. I didn't use leap or anything. I just jumped on here. EMP, both Phoenix and a Storm. Moved out of the way because of all these signals that pop out of the Phoenix there. But overall, not that bad. I could just leave that as it is. Civilians are doing their thing, loading up, all that stuff. So yeah, so far not that bad. Had a bit of an issue with the storm, the interceptors, not the storms. I don't know why I keep saying storms. The interceptors with the civilian ships, but yeah. Also, this is kind of an issue here because they can spawn in any place. Sometimes there's not an asteroid available to hit them from, so I couldn't hit it from that asteroid I was sitting on. So I have to move to hit it in a certain way. Yeah, not exactly reliable. I kind of wish they would just, spawn near an asteroid, but oh well. You will see later on interceptor that will spawn like kind of like right here where this sector is, just in the, off to the bottom right, and I can't hit it, so I have to wait for it to move to deal with it. A little harrowing, but it's fine. Also, as usual, struggling for time because I take back so many different arts now. Because I researched transport and shield arts for those things, and I keep combat and minor arts for giveaways. So it only really leaves weapon and drone arts, so I had to sacrifice some shield arts just to get out of here in time. Yeah, and again, having to deal with the interceptors. Luckily, the Solitude 13 really helps with those interceptors. Helps keep them out of the way. But yeah, you see, I'm just kind of sitting here chilling, not really killing anything, just sort of protecting and loading artifacts because it takes me a while to do that. I teleported up here just to catch the attention of those ghosts. And yeah, it's a little weird, but I get by. I was waiting for that interceptor to move before I started using the miners to boost the sector again, because if it moved over this way, it would have ran over the miners. I didn't want to do that. Yeah, and because I was taking so long, my vengeance came back off cooldown. But I didn't want to use it. I wanted to, again, kind of like a test run. I wanted to make sure I could take out 2 sectors with just leap and some careful maneuvering. So I did that here. Sadly, this bomber moved up because, the docking point on a planet is on the bottom. I was hoping it would move down so I could just EMP it down here and possibly kill it before these phoenixes got in range, but it went upward. So I tried to catch it and EMP it, but I was out of the range of the storms, which would have killed me with the darts. So I had to move. So that was a bit of a hiccup there. I could have planned that a little bit better. Decided to go down here just to deal with that interceptor. And also keep the attention of the ghosts there. So I decided to give in because up here I was still dealing with the ghosts and the interceptors with this brawler. So I decided, just use the second vengeance. Which again, I didn't want to do, but, it's effective. And I guess, if I have enough time, I can just do that. Don't really want to use vengeance for 2 planets, but if I have to, then I will. And yeah, that's kind of it. Check out the rest with just the brawlers and position myself away from all the interceptors and the ghosts that spawn all over the place. Some superfluous leaps here and there. Didn't really need to do that. But oh well. And yeah. So I suppose, I guess my little method of just take out the bombers and then improvise, it kind of works. A few hiccups here and there, a few artifacts lost, a few trophies left behind, but overall, it seems to work decently well. I will see if I can find a more, I guess, consistent method of, dealing with interceptors and ghosts, and try to keep killing things at the same time, because one vengeance ship can only do so much, especially when it doesn't have EMP to take out interceptors on the way. But I'm sure I'll figure something out. I could potentially go into the cargo rocket, since, I can't take as many artifacts as before, so I could spend some not only on repairing this ship, but also on possibly killing interceptors with just a cargo rocket. I don't know how much hull those things have, but I'd imagine it'd be pretty effective. Possibly. I don't know, I'll see. But yeah, good times all around. Breath of fresh air. New fun to be had. The days of DRS9 are far behind me. I shall see you around. Ta-ta for now.